day 13 of Accelerate to Awesome. My name is Etrulia Troy Lee, and I'm the CEO and founder of Women Enlightened and Economically Empowered, where we help women to create their best life by helping them to flourish in mind, body, and assets. And we do that through our creative online coaching program. So it's day 13, and now you know what you want to do, and you've looked at it and said, is there a fear? Is there a fear that I have of moving forward? So let's say you've decided you want to open your own business. You want to leave your job and open your own business, or even not leave your job, but open your own business. And there's a cost associated with opening your own business of $5,000, and you're not moving forward yet. And you've identified the fact that I am not moving forward because I'm fearful that this might not work out and I could lose some money. So let's just look at that as an example. So we write down what the fear is. If I open this business and it doesn't work out, I could lose $5,000. Once you're clear on what the fear is that's holding you back, ask yourself this question. If I lose the $5,000, what happens next? So you lost the $5,000. What happens next? Your answer could be something like, well, I'm just $5,000 lighter in my retirement savings. Okay, then what happens next? Well, I could always replenish my retirement savings. Okay, then what happens next? Nothing. Could you live with that? Of course you could. Of course you could. But let's say it's an even bigger investment. Let's say you want to open your own business, but you need to spend $50,000, and that's all the money you have. But you really believe that this is the direction you want to go in, and you really do want to go for it because you really want this thing. So if I invest $50,000 and I lose all the money, what happens next? What would be your next? Would you have to go back and get a job? Okay, could you live with that? Okay. Would you have to sell your house? Could you live with that? Would you be homeless? Probably not for most of us. You could probably stay with a relative, etc. What I'm getting at is this. Most of the things that we are fearing, if we really look at the total end result, it doesn't end in death. And as long as it doesn't end in death, you still have the opportunity to move forward with another endeavor. So if the thought of, say, losing the $50,000 because the business didn't work out, if that's something you just cannot accept, then this is not for you. Then making that investment is not for you. Because since we truly don't know the outcome of anything, you have to be willing to look at the worst case scenario, and as long as it doesn't end in you dying, and you have to be able to say, I'm okay with that. So I've used this technique many times with clients and just friends. So I'm going to give you an example of one. This young lady called me, and she was very upset and just in a tizzy because she had gone over on the cell phone plan, and her husband was away overseas, and she was just in a tizzy because the bill should have been $100, and somehow this bill was over like $500 and something dollars. And she was just crying and just going crazy about what her husband was going to say when he heard about this big bill. And I said to her, as she was just in this upset state, I said, okay, so what's going to happen when you talk to Bill? I'll just call him Bill. She said, well, Bill is going to be mad. He's going to be screaming on the phone, yada, yada, yada. I said, okay. And after Bill yells and screams, what happens next? Oh, I don't know. He'll probably just tell me that he is, taking my name off the account, and he probably won't give me any extra money for a while. And I said, well, what's going to happen after that? And she said, well, he'll probably won't speak to me for a couple of weeks. He probably won't, call me every night or whatever. And I said, what happens after that? And she said, well, I guess he'll just get over it. And I said, and what happens after that? And she said, nothing. Are you going to get a divorce over this? No. Is he going to take your children? No. So although she was so upset about this situation, at the end it was like, he's just going to get over it. Very easy. So sometimes when you look at the worst possible outcome, you will stop being fearful of whatever may come your way. I have used this technique many a times when I needed to move forward in a decision and say, what's the worst that could happen? I left a big check on the table when I left my last official position. And this is the formula that I use. If I decide to walk out of here, what's the worst that could happen? Because I did have a plan, but I didn't know if the plan was going to work. The plan didn't work perfectly as it turned out. But I looked at that thing and said, what's the worst that could happen if this doesn't work out? And I took that all the way to, well, if this doesn't work out, and then I'm unable to earn the money that I think I'm going to make, and then I can't earn it this way, and then I can't earn it that way. The worst that could possibly happen in my situation was that my husband and I may have to downsize. We would still have a home. We may have to downsize. And when I looked at that worst possible thing and said, I'm okay with that, we just moved forward because we already looked at the worst possible outcome and said, we are absolutely okay with that. So your assignment for today, if you're looking at something and you're looking at what you might be fearing if you move forward, look at the worst possible scenario. And if you're okay with that, then we know it's okay for you to move forward. But if you're not okay with it, you may want to reevaluate, is this something I really want to do? Okay? So, signing off today. Make sure you do your assignment. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And as always, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only get one chance. Create your best life now. Blessings and bubbles, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.